All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk about a technology that some people are saying is as big as, well, the discovery of fire. And it's all centered on this one company with an absolutely massive goal to solve intelligence itself.
So when you hear a quote like that, you know we're not just talking about a faster iPhone. We're talking about a fundamental shift in, well, everything. And to really get why, we need to follow the story of one company, DeepMind, and its wild quest to build something they call artificial general intelligence.
Okay, so what is this AGI thing anyway? Look, the AI you have in your phone right now, it's a specialist. It's a genius at one thing, like recommending your next song or getting rid of spam, but that's it. Ask it to do your taxes, and it just won't. AGI, on the other hand, is the holy grail. It's an AI that can learn and think and reason about pretty much anything. A lot more like a human brain.
And you can't tell this story without talking about the guy at the heart of it all, Demis Hassabis. I mean, this is a person who, even as a kid, had this incredibly audacious goal. He wasn't just thinking about making computers smarter. No, his mission was to solve intelligence itself. And once he did that, he figured he could use it to solve basically every other problem facing humanity. And just look at this background. It's kind of the perfect recipe for what he was trying to do, right? You've got the strategic thinking of a world-class chess player. Then you add the creativity and world-building of a hit video game designer. And you top it all off with a PhD in neuroscience, actually understanding how the human brain works. This wasn't just some computer science project. It was a quest to reverse engineer the very blueprint of intelligence. So here's the big question. How do you even begin to teach a machine to think like a human? I mean, you can't just feed it a bunch of books. It needs to learn by doing. It needs a world to interact with, to experiment in, to play in. And for DeepMind, the perfect digital playground was classic video games. The technique they used is called reinforcement learning, and the idea behind it is actually super simple. You don't tell the AI the rules of the game at all. You just let it see the screen, give it the controls, and then you give it one single goal: make the score go up. That's it. It gets a reward for a higher score, and its entire motivation is to figure out how to get more rewards. It's pure trial and error. And at the beginning, it was bad, like really bad. The AI was just flailing around, missing the ball almost every single time. You have to remember, it didn't know what a ball was, what a paddle was, or even that it was supposed to hit the ball. It was starting from absolute zero. But then, after playing for hundreds and hundreds of hours, something amazing happened. First, it got good. Then it got really good. But then it did something no human had ever taught it. It discovered this incredible strategy of digging a tunnel on the side, sending the ball up behind the bricks to just wreak havoc. This was huge. It proved the AI wasn't just mimicking, it was innovating. All right, so in mastered Atari, what's next? Well, DeepMind decided to go for the big one, the Everest of strategic games. A game so mind-bendingly complex, people thought it would be decades before an AI could crack it. They took on the ancient game of Go. And to really wrap your head around why this was such a huge deal, let's compare it to chess. Chess is complicated, for sure, but Go is on a completely different plane of existence. We're talking more possible moves on a Go board than there are atoms in the entire known universe. Just let that sink in. This isn't a game you win with brute force calculation. It requires intuition, creativity. It was the ultimate test. So the stage is set. It's 2016. DeepMind's AI, AlphaGo, is facing off against the legend himself, Lee Sedol, the world champion. Millions are watching. It's this epic man versus machine showdown. The games are incredibly tense. And then, in the second game, AlphaGo makes a play. A move so bizarre, so alien, that it just stunned everyone watching. It would go down in history as Move 37. And check this out. When they crunched the numbers later, they figured out the probability of a human Go master playing that exact move was 1 in 10,000. It was so out of left field, commentators thought it was a mistake, a bug. But it wasn't. It was this beautiful, creative, and utterly non-human move that completely turned the tide of the game. You know, this victory was so much bigger than just a board game. It was a true Sputnik moment. Just like when the Soviets launched that first satellite and kicked off the space race, AlphaGo's win showed the entire world what was suddenly possible with AI. It lit a fire under researchers and companies everywhere, and basically launched the global AI race we're seeing today. Okay, so DeepMind proved its AI could beat the best humans at the most complex games. Pretty cool, right?
But here's the thing. It was never really about the games. That was just the training ground. The real mission, the whole point of this quest, was to take this incredible new intelligence and aim it at some of the biggest, gnarliest problems in science. Exactly. As Hassabis himself said, games were the perfect, controlled environment to build and test their ideas. They were the proving ground. Now it was time to take those algorithms out of the sandbox and into the real world. And they didn't start small. They went after one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in biology, the protein folding problem. Basically, for 50 years, scientists have been trying to figure this out. Proteins are like these tiny machines that do everything in our bodies. But to know what a protein does, you need to know its 3D shape. And predicting that shape was just insanely hard. Solving it would be a game changer for understanding diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and so many others. Well, DeepMind's new AI called AlphaFold pretty much solved it. And then they did something truly unbelievable. They didn't lock it up or sell it. They used AlphaFold to predict the structure of basically every single known protein. That's over 200 million of them. And then they just gave the data away for free to everyone. It was this incredible gift to science that accelerated biological research across the entire planet, like overnight.
So a technology powerful enough to solve a 50-year-old problem in biology is obviously incredibly powerful. And with that kind of power comes enormous risk. This is where the story takes a turn, because we have to talk about the other side of this coin, the very real dangers of AGI. And one of the strongest voices calling for caution is Demis Hassabis himself. He makes this absolutely crucial point. You know that classic Silicon Valley mantra, move fast and break things? He says that is the worst possible way to approach AGI. The stakes are just way too high. You can't just break something this powerful and hope you can fix it later. You might not get a second chance. And when you look at the potential risks, you start to see why he's so concerned. We're talking about things like fully autonomous warfare, surveillance on a scale we can't even imagine, or disinformation campaigns so powerful they could completely destabilize society. Then there's the risk to financial markets, or even weapons that we can't comprehend yet. This isn't science fiction anymore. These are the real, serious challenges we have to figure out, and we have to do it together as a plan. So when you put it all together, the arrival of AGI could very well be the single most important moment in all of human history. It could literally divide our timeline into a before and an after. On one hand, you have the promise of solving everything, curing disease, fixing climate change, you name it. But on the other, it is the ultimate challenge to our wisdom. So the final question really isn't if it's coming anymore. It's, are we ready?